Hey guys, welcome back to the channel CreatorSim. If you're new here, this is your hostess with the mostest. You can call me Jean, and I hope you guys are having a great day. So today's build is Guinevere's Gatehouse. I was actually inspired by a gatehouse in the Scottish Highlands that you can actually vacation in if you were to vacation out there. I was loosely inspired by the exterior and kind of like the landscape area around it, and I thought it'd be just a really cute, quaint home to this kind of theme that I got to make this world all sort of, I don't know, medieval, I guess, or Renaissance-y, as close as I could get to that theme, or as close, I guess, as the game would allow me to get to that theme. So this was just the first one, and it took me a long time to figure out the outside because I really wanted to be as specific as possible as I could with my reference picture. And if I haven't, that should be up on the screen for you guys just to peek at really quick. So that's kind of what I'm going for here. I was just really inspired by the overall shape, and I loved how many floors there were, and I did my best to do a spiral staircase in the tower because that's where the house had its staircase. So the tower just had the spiral staircase all the way up, and from there the house was divvied up over 3 floors, I think it was. In this house I decided just to do 2 main floors and like a little tower space. We do have a basement. I did last minute decide to throw in a basement. So yeah, that was kind of like just the idea I wanted to go for, and as I was building this house, and then eventually I got a playtester sim in here just to make sure things were working right. As you guys can see, I was manipulating the terrain outside, so really quickly I brought a sim onto the lot just to make sure they could get into the house. And I kind of like fell in love with like this little sim that I made, and kind of fell in love with this idea. She is a Renaissance sim. That was the aspiration I gave her, so she wants to learn and do all these things, and I feel like she has to be a spellcaster as well, but I'm jumping ahead of myself. Anyways, so just very cute. She loves the outdoors, lots of farming, and she just owns this gatehouse. I imagine that perhaps it was passed down to her in the family, or maybe she purchased it new. I haven't exactly decided on a backstory yet, but I don't know. I just really enjoyed the character I kind of made up. And also, that idea sparked other ideas. I thought this character would need like a love interest, so I thought that I would go ahead and also create a sim to manage a farm, because I figured this world that Guinevere lived in had a farm, and I was thinking kind of like a farm boy type character like Wesley from The Princess Bride, so she has her own like farm boy. So I'm also working on kind of a medieval farmhouse. Really quick, I did just go ahead and talk right past it, but I went ahead and placed a couple of Windenburg items from the Get Together pack, debug. And they're just these 2 little towers. I'm not really sure what they're supposed to be, but you can see them there. I just placed 2 of them, and I'm not sure if I can't remember now if I messed with the size too much. But I used the tool mod just to go ahead and place them off the lot. And I actually use a lot of tool mod for this build. I go ahead and cut a lot of stuff out of it because another idea that I had with this was using the tool mod to better manipulate the area around the lots to make them more useful for the sims and possibly more fun for storytelling and things like that. And with the reference picture that I had in mind to the gatehouse in Scotland that I was basing kind of this after, a lot of the area around it was very overgrown and lush looking. So I kind of kept that in mind here, and I thought that I would go ahead and clutter up like the perimeter of the lot with some plants and sort of make it look like it was a little bigger. As you can see, I've already placed down like a laundry line, and the laundry line peeks off of the property, as well as like the wishing well I placed near her house but off the property. But I think in game you could kind of assume maybe it's still for property in the backyard, so to speak. So I know that I was trying to be really specific to my reference picture, but I just really loved the idea of this being so overgrown and whimsical, and this kind of was where I was like, you know what, let's go somewhere with this. Let's do something with this. Because at first I kind of just wanted to do the basic gatehouse. I just wanted to build something as it was, and then kind of have my creative liberties on the interior. Well, I couldn't resist adding plants. If you guys are new to the channel, you'll learn pretty quick. I'm obsessed with plants. So yeah, I had to clutter up the outside, and I'm really just in love with how magical it looks. I assume it could be a little obnoxious in gameplay with all of the ivy and stuff, so sorry, not sorry. Okay, so we've moved on inside, and right now I'm placing a bunch of platforms, and I do end up removing these I'd never even tested it out, but I kind of got the hunch that perhaps the sim wouldn't be able to get downstairs, or if they would, it might glitch out and look weird. But I wanted it to sort of look like there was an entry to a cellar here. At first I was thinking I would go with a very kind of worn down but luxurious interior. I wanted it to look like perhaps the family had money at one point, or at least had very nice belongings that they cared about and, you know, whatnot. So the kitchen takes a while to sort of take shape. The Gatehouse had these weird little like rounded corners on the first floor. And so I was kind of working around that there, and I just go ahead and placed a countertop and took some islands and sort of blended it in. It took me a while to figure out how I wanted to get it to blend in, so I will be retouching on it a little bit. Right now I'm kind of grabbing a bunch of items that I think would be applicable or that I might want to use. I sometimes find it best to kind of scroll through the catalog and just grab a handful of stuff that I come across and then kind of go from there as far as like fitting it in. I really wish we had more bench options because I really like the idea of having a bench, and I'm hoping in one of the expansion packs or stuff packs we get sort of like maybe if we had an extension to like the country kitchen kit. So if we had gotten like a little like farmhousey bench sitting area, I think that'd be perfect. I don't know why I always think of like stereotypical homes or like the perfect, you know, family home. They've got like in the kitchen a big window seat with a table and then chairs on the side of the table that isn't against the window. I don't know, I just feel like it's a thing that fancy houses have, so yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I just had a lot of fun with this, and I did something new too with this interior. I use so much brown. I never use this much brown, like never. Normally when I do more dated builds, I try to stick to more like shades of white and beige, which is, you can see is what I'm going with here. But I eventually found out I just was having a really hard time matching with a lot of the brown swatches, and I realized for the sake of decoration and everything looking a little bit more cohesive, I would need to change the color cabinet. So I do end up changing the color of the cabinets to like the black color. I really like that country kitchen set, and I like how it looks worn, but a lot of the colors are fun, and I just feel like people weren't coloring their countertops like pastel colors at this time, so it was either the white or the black, and I think the black ended up looking a bit better. I was so mad about that little flower pot too. My sim couldn't get in the house because of that one little flower pot in the corner. I think it looks so cute. I did end up leaving it sort of in the vicinity, but just shoved it over a little bit more. Now, I'm just going to say this because I have so much fun in the kitchen. Don't get used to anything for a good 15 minutes. This is a bit of a longer video. I'm not sure how much I'm going to cut out or if I'm going to chit-chat throughout the whole thing. In fact, that's sort of why it's been a while since I put out a video. I was sort of in the mindset lately, not a good mindset, but I kind of was going to stop doing voiceovers. I was thinking about just starting to add music to my videos, so I'm trying to get over that and just get back into chit-chatting with you guys because it is nice and fun to interact with you. So yeah, but I might not stick around for the whole bit. If you do though, I'm so glad. Go ahead right now, here's your warning. Go ahead and grab a snack, maybe a comfy blankie, a sweatshirt, or you know what, if it's just a nice chill day for you, watch me when you cuddle in bed or something, or if you have a fur baby, you know, wrap them along. Luckily, the fur baby that bothers me most while I'm recording is blissfully napping outside of this room for once. I am really so pleased with this little like cluttered up shelf that I do. And I was able to find a great deal of objects too that didn't smell. There were a couple that slipped through the cracks. I think there's a couple of ointments that eventually go bad, as well as, oh, you know what, the little fizzy drinks that we got with Eco Lifestyle, they also go bad. I was really bummed out about that. I thought they looked so good. And I can't recall if I remember seeing like a little exclamation mark, because I do have the Better Build vibe. So I've been doing this a lot lately, shrinking down pictures or adding pictures in like kitchens and stuff and possibly making them look like, I don't know, maybe recipe books or something of this sort. This is kind of where I got the idea, maybe she's a witch. So I decided to add the cauldron just because I thought that was a realistic way people cooked back then. And I'm not really even sure what I'm referring to when I say back then. I guess anywhere between like the 1500s to 1700s. I don't know. Like I said, it's all kind of like based on what we're able to do with The Sims. So you know, I try. We've got vampires in the game. Don't let me be too specific. All right. But I thought a cauldron would be great for her, just because you can cook with it. You can make mac and cheese with the cauldron, and I feel like a lot of people had great big pots and stuff. And also I couldn't really, or I suppose I didn't really try to figure out how to do a nice, like, tool mod mostly made little fireplace or stove thing, because I feel like that's mostly what they had. They had the hearth in their home, you know, it's a fireplace. They warmed themselves up, and they also cooked at it as well. But I was realizing pretty soon that this house was actually a lot bigger than I was anticipating, so we were able to spread everything out a lot better. I do love, though, how run down this kitchen area looks, and yeah, it really started inspiring me to go to the spellcaster route. So I knew I was going to give her a little cellar. I eventually end up expanding that and deciding to make a secret room, and we will get there. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've switched through a couple of reshades while we've been recording. Sometimes I forget to turn it off when I hop back into building, if I take a couple screenshots or something, just of a work in progress or whatnot. I've been using a couple lately. I've been using some Bumma and also Technicolor. I can't remember the full, like, creator and names and all that, but I'm going to have everything linked for you down in the description. So if you see anything that you can tell is a reshade and it catches your eye, go ahead and peek down below. I also go ahead and link links to the, like, Twist Mexy's mod, so you get that below, as well as also the red shelf too. I have that linked for you down below. I think I might try and do a let's play with this. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. That sounds really cool, and I love them, and they look so much fun. And honestly, I get so creative too with my own Sims. I could see myself getting really lost in all of that. So I'm not really sure if I want to do like a let's play Machinima sort of like mix or something. I don't know. I just was really in love with this Guinevere character and this house that I built for her, that I just had to play in this house. It'll be so much fun. Oh, so yeah, let's get back to like the theme that I'm going for. So I kind of decided to go with the whole building theme. Now I have so many different interests and stuff that I like to build, and I also get I sort of stuck or not sure what I should work on as well. So I thought that perhaps a themed world could kind of keep me on track, and it would be a nice organized way for me to bounce around to. It would be its own separate world. I wouldn't touch it with any other sort of build styles. So far we've got Guinevere's Gatehouse, which is completed and on the gallery, by the way. So that'll be in the description down below. Sorry, we're almost 15 minutes in the video, and I'm just telling you this is on the gallery. But it is available for download. Everything should work and be just fine. It was a pain to play test, but I'm pretty sure we got everything. So we've got Guinevere's Gatehouse, which is finished and available in the gallery. I'm also working on her farm boy-esque kind of love interest character's property, the farmhouse. And I have made that sim already. His name is Darius. He has a dog. I have to change the dog's name. I didn't like edit the dog's name because I really didn't care. I was just like, yeah, let's just make a cute boy sim, because I'm really awful at making male sims, honestly. I spend no time in cast making male sims. Female sims, though, it's so much fun for me. But I gave him a dog, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a really cute dog. He definitely needs a dog for all this property. But I think the name was like Tofu or something. I didn't change it. I'm pretty sure. Well, honestly, I don't know anything really about Tofu. But I don't believe it was available for people in this like time era that I'm kind of, I don't know, basing off of. Anyway, so we've got the farmhouse, and then I also got really inspired. I've been watching, let's see, City Sims, Kate Emerald, Phantasms, I think is how you say her name. Just, oh my gosh, so many amazing creators out there. I can't even name them all, but a lot of these folks who are really just excelled with the tool mod. I've been watching a lot of their stuff, which is getting really inspired, and also just for help too. I seem to have no attention span when it comes to tutorial videos, so I watch their videos to help me out with Tool a little bit, because yeah, I need help sometimes. Anyways, they've just been really inspiring me, and they love to do a bunch of like cluttered stuff, so just the things that they're able to do with the tool mod and make all these custom beautiful things. So yeah, I was just inspired to try this idea. And oh, but specifically though, they've been doing a lot of like a village or a bunch of like unraised terrain, you know, different houses or, you know, connected rooms with cool bridges and whatnot. And so I kind of wanted to do that. I thought, because in this area, okay, so this lot, for example, is on the Shrieking Llama lot. The Farm Boy lot is within, like, you can see this if you you can see it if you zoom out of this plot. I can't remember what it was called. I think it might have been, no, the village is on the Fire lot or Friar. I'm not sure what that family's name was. But the village is also in view as well. And I also got the idea too that her love interest, Darius, he has a sister, and maybe his sister runs a bakery here in town. So I thought a medieval bakery would be really cute on one of these smaller lots. But now that I have started the medieval village sort of looking thing, I was thinking about just making that a community lot. And sure, I would have some places that like had rooms or places for Sims to sleep and like shower and, you know, domiciles, but that I would also have shops. So it would be a community center with a bunch of shops, like a potion shop. And so I don't know if I'm going to tuck in her bakery there or if I should give his sister her own little house with like a bakery attached or something. So I'm not quite sure yet. Not quite sure. I just love the way this living room comes together. It was so dark and I was so worried, but I absolutely love how like rich the colors are. Kind of like a dark academia feel to it. Like a mid-dark. I mean, it's not too dark, but it's not too light either. Just really, really enjoyed it. And yes, that is a fire hazard I have set up. I'm not sure when it was because I like to like record my houses through like a time lapse, just like to see the weather changing. I don't know. I just think it's like an artsy thing to do sometimes. But I realized during that time, so I'm not exactly sure when, but at some point. That coffee table was caught on fire. Don't worry, it was fixed before it was uploaded to the gallery. I really struggled with this front entry area. As you can see, as I'm trying to make this awful like plant, I quickly gave up and just added, you know, that face. But I wasn't really sure what I should do for her entry area, especially with the like how stocked the kitchen was. I don't know. I was kind of hoping you'd walk in and immediately start to see some of her supplies, or, you know, I thought she was going to be really self-sufficient. Everything she needed was here on the property. She grew her own food and things like that. So I was not sure what to put here. I don't know. I didn't know how to introduce you to Guinevere's house. I didn't know what should be the first thing you see when you came through the door. And it's also a weird space as well. We've got like this staircase immediately to the left, and then like a little hall to the living room area, back door, and kitchen and dining. So I decided just to put like that nice little lounge chair. I think that one in specific is from the Vampires stuff pack. And then since I wasn't sure what to put under the stairs, I feel like it's such a waste of space that we can't like really interact with stuff under the stairs. I wish they would fix that. I mean, I think some stuff can work. Like you can get a desk pretty well, like up under a staircase, and sometimes it does work, but yeah, just wasn't really sure. So honestly, I didn't do too much. I was also worried about the footpath too. I noticed when this build, I added so much clutter and things like that, but there were so many little things too that were hanging up the sim. I'm so happy that they fixed like the free roaming windows. I was just talking with someone in stream the other day about like placements of the windows, and I had completely forgotten that like a year or two ago, it was pretty recently, but not that long ago, we didn't have free placement of doors and windows. And I like, how did we live like that? Like how? How did we live like that? So yeah, just crazy. So I'm hoping we eventually we do some sort of update where the windows don't look funny if they're I guess overlapping between two floors. For example, like the windows in the spiral tower for the staircase, I didn't really give that floor anywhere, so the windows kind of wanted to glitch out if they were lined in where the room ended, so like ceiling floor area, if that is making any sense. So eventually, towards the end of the build, I do go in with smaller windows and shrink them down and try and fix that. So I don't know, maybe you guys will see what I'm talking about here soon. Oh, I also go ahead and build like a little custom ladder in the stairwell thing too. We'll get to that here pretty quick, but I thought that little hallway down to the cellar would be like a great place for her just to store a bunch of small things and items and the like, and so that she could like I don't know, it was kind of like a pantry slash witchy area. And here we are in the bathroom, which I think came together pretty well because I thought I was going to bomb this, trying to do like a classic bathroom sort of thing, but I think it looks really nice. And honestly, I'm so in love with how the light comes in through that window right there. I think it is so pretty. And I didn't actually try this lot or even give it the off-the-grid trait, but I think this lot should work off the grid. I didn't give her any electronics. I don't even think we gave her a radio of any sort. And all of the lamps, I try to use all candlelight or lanterns. So it very well should work off the grid. And you know what I was wishing as well too, because I wanted it to look, you know, accurate. Not so much here, but when I was working on the farmhouse specifically, I wish we had like more realistic like bathtubs, just plumbing fixtures for this time area. Ooh, watch what I do here. I'm very pleased with this. So the rubber tree, the Ficus elastica, is one of my favorite plants in real life and in The Sims. And so I took this debug little planter thing and I just raised, or I don't know, I enlarged it a little bit, shoved it in that corner, and enlarged and shrunk down a bunch of rubber tree plants. And voila, I think it looks so good. And I really just love this little corner right here. Really pleased with it. All right, there I am placing some more stuff in the debug. I jump around a little bit. So this room right here, I imagine to be Guinevere's room. It ends up being 3-bedroom. You can technically house, let's see, 6 Sims, or sleep 6 Sims, so 2 in this room. I do give a children's room, even though Guinevere at this time has no interest in children. We'll just pretend like it's an empty room. She shouldn't go in that room. So maybe like a creepy, like, attic stair stuff room. But I did include a children's room just for like the gallery's sake, or for whomever may want to like use this for whatever their, you know, pleasures may be. So it can technically sleep 6. Technically only 5 adults and children and 1 toddler. Oh, you know what? Technically 7. You can have a baby on the premises as well. You'll eventually have to get an extra bed or something. But yeah, so this is Guinevere's room. I was really pleased with the greens and the browns. I think they complemented themselves really, really well. And again, I was just so insecure about like stepping out of my comfort zone with the fun, like modern, clean, minimal stuff to this more cluttered and dated look. And I hope I did good. I really tried. Your sim is going to be so inspired in this house too. I love those little like tomes, I think is what they're called, stack of old books. So I put those everywhere because I think they look so fitting, and really they're one of the very few clutter items that I think are realistic for this time zone. The other clutter books, their colors are just too bright or bold. I was able to use some of them, but like even the Discover University stack of textbooks has like little sticky notes and stuff on there if you look closely. And the color of the books are like purple and just very bright colors. Not to say we didn't have dyes like that, but they were a little bit more rare, and like purple is known as like a royal color. I guess it was hard to make purple dye. But yeah, anywho. Gosh, I should stop saying that. I really only say that when I do these videos. Alright, so here's like the weird children's room, which I do eventually end up giving a window. The reason why there's so few windows in this house is just because I was so hell-bent on trying to stick to the reference picture. But yeah. I really wish we got more like bunk bed options, but I'm really glad that they're just in the game in general now, because I think that means then that we'll just get them like when we get more bed updates. You know, it'll just be something in the game now. So just a very plain children's room. I don't even think I added any toys, if I'm being honest, just because there isn't a whole lot of room. But it is a big house, so I was thinking perhaps if you did have a family here, the toys could spill out elsewhere. And then this I kind of thought would be like a spare bedroom, or maybe a more masculine themed room. Not Guinevere's room, but I did want it to have some sort of character. I gave it that beautiful old auntie's desk, I think is what it's called, from the Paranormal Stuff Pack. I love it. It's so pretty. And I also put a lot of artist stuff in here. I can clutter up the walls. I had the hardest time choosing a rug for that room for whatever reason. And of course I have to bounce around from rooms because I can't stay focused. This Madonna looks so good. I just love that reshade. It was just so perfect for this theme. It depends. Like, it's kind of hit or miss with reshades. Sometimes some of them look better for certain builds or lighting situations than others. Even though I really try and stick to like the same like photography editing aesthetic. It's really hard to do though. All right, so here we are downstairs in like our cellar area, and I thought I would give her like a secret room. And so I was inspired actually right after watching Sadie Sims. I think it was like her I don't think it was apothecary. I think it might have been, I don't know, it was something's laboratory. It might have been apothecary laboratory, but she used these shelves from Cats and Dogs. And I did try to find another one because I was so inspired by what she did there. I love how she made like this little secluded area with them, but really none of the shelves work the way that one does. Like no other ones did it the way that one does. So I did use the exact same shelves she used. They just look so good. And I was so happy too that you can get them very, very close to the wall, and you can place the mirror behind it as well as like some floating candles, which I did go ahead and do. I had some issues with the terrain, so that's kind of just what I'm dealing with right now. But yeah, I love that you can see the candles and the mirror through them. So I just was inspired to do this little like raised platform area and kind of a tucked in little like brewing area. So I thought this would be a secret room. Maybe Darius, her farm boy, doesn't know she's a spellcaster. Or maybe she doesn't even know she's a spellcaster. I put this behind one of the hidden doors, so is that it does look secret and private. I don't know though. Oh, see, there I am placing the eco lifestyle like fizzy juices. I love the bottles. They look so good, but they smell. Unfortunately, they smell. And this room just looks so pretty too. This just in general was a really fun exercise for me. It was good to step out of my comfort zone. I'm going to be doing this a lot lately too. I might be doing a modern build for you in the meantime, just because I am getting, I wouldn't say burnt out, but I've got a lot of this theme projects going on, so I think it might be time to take a break and go work on something else. Additionally, before I decided to start this entire endeavor, I have a bunch of other projects in the works. I've got this beautiful giant mid-century modern lake house sort of mansion thing, but also not mansion because somehow, even though it's massive, I don't have a lot of rooms in it, oddly enough. But it's just got a lot of like big floor areas and in living rooms the like. So I'd like to get that finished because I'm really happy with it. I'm not happy with the landscaping. Like I think it could be better. I thought perhaps I was thinking sort of like, I don't know if you guys watched Hot Tub Time Machine, like sort of like a mountaintop ski lodge area. And I wanted there to be things to do on the property. So I've got a lot of playing around to do with that. But this was a fun little break from that. And I discovered so many new items too and themes, and so like I'm so inspired. I've got a little list, which, darn it, is not near me. Oh, it is near me. Okay, so this kind of little list of things that I thought that I could do. I was joking with my mom. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, no, we definitely need like a baker. And Mom's like, oh yeah, a butcher. And I was like, yes, a butcher, a baker, and a candlestick maker. So I think I'm gonna have all of those in like the village community space because, well, I don't know how I can manage the butcher thing. If anything, possibly see if I can do like the faux meat, like eco plant thing. Although I never seem to get that to work. I never get to play in the gameplay, so I don't know if you need like a special gardening skill to do that. But I was thinking we could have that set up as like a butcher thing and sort of, I don't know, blend it in to make it look like the person's actually cutting meat. I don't know how we do that, but we'll try. I thought like an orphanage would be neat, maybe like an old cemetery. Although I don't know how cool that would be, seeing as how like people were still burying their dead in like wooden coffins back then. But a mausoleum could be kind of neat. I was thinking like a dye shop, a windmill, a theater maybe, like Shakespeare theater. Like an apothecary thing, a community garden, or like witches center. So that's kind of all the stuff that I have in mind for this sort of thing. All right, guys, we're focusing back on the video at the right time. So I believe I saw this, but it might have been Sadie Sims actually, the first time I saw this. I hope I'm not wrong. But she shrunk down these little base game tables and put them in these eco lifestyle jars, and they're so perfect. They look like little things filled with paint. So I thought that I would kind of disguise the hidden room behind an office. So the cellar leads down, you've got like a pantry hall with a bunch of goods and whatnot cluttered along the sides. And then you've got a small office, and it could have been whatever, you know, we want to pretend it used to be, but now it's reused as Guinevere's little office. She paints, and these are her precious paints. And behind that bookcase door is the secret room. And again, I don't know yet if I want her to know about the secret room. If I do a Let's Play, I think that could be kind of cool for her to find out. Perhaps we start with her like just like coming back home or something, and I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. And I also thought, though, if she does fall in love with Darius, if Darius's farm would be a more adequate place for the two to live if they got together. Not sure. I really just love the way this office comes together. It looks so good, and I'm really happy with how snug and comfy it is without looking too overcrowded. I also went ahead and added a couple of little paint jars on top of this little stand, which I always have to have next to an easel because it does have the emotional aura, or I can't remember what it's called, but it'll give your sim an inspirational moodlet, which is neat. So they will boost stuff faster. I try and do that if I've got skills or whatnot. Oh, I believe I hope I did. This house should also have like the great soil trait as well as like the homey trait, which I think makes like domestic skills like cooking and woodworking and things like that go up a little bit higher as well. I also applied those to the farmhouse as well. Oh, and I just love these. So I did have to rearrange a couple of them to get the cauldron to work, but I believe those twigs were from, oh goodness, the outdoor retreat. And they just look really good underneath the cauldron. So I was really happy about those. Here we are in Technicolor. I just love how amazing the reds look in that reshade. Which again, I'm going to have all those linked down below for you. So yeah, this is just me working on like the little like pantry area. I do end up transforming this a bit more. To the left, we end up putting a closet, as well as I then go in and add that like self-built ladder using the debug. I think it's like a fire poker, and then I use the debug wooden plank. And I thought that like basket of shells was just like the most perfect thing, like leading down. All right, so we're about to add it. I'm just making sure she can walk through everything. I really just love how cluttered it is. You know, this would probably be a pain too if you're playing with several sims. I could see several sims getting like stuck or like frustrated with the other sim if there was several down here. So if you play with a lot of sims, you may run into issues with that on this lot. But for a single sim, they seem to maneuver around everything just fine. But I understand with some other sims in the vicinity, it could mess with things. So I'm cluttering up this little hutch that I think we got with Eco Lifestyle. And I just like that it holds like linens and whatnot. So I thought maybe there were some towels and rags she kept down here, as well as some spare like glasses and whatnot. This is also me using the tool mod to kind of blend in the woodworking table and archaeology table, which does work. I was really happy about that. So all of those are functional. I do go ahead and add the candle making table. I couldn't get my sim to find any recycled bits to play test that, so I'm actually not yet sure if that works. So we'll have to see about that. So I decided just to line this wall with the Realm of Magic bookcases just to kind of add just for a wall covering. I thought it made a nice background. Because at this point, I hate to admit it, but I was kind of burnt out. I was ready to be done with this house. I feel like every time I moved on from a room, I would look back at it and just keep adding more, and I needed to be done. So I just went ahead and added the bookcases just to, you know, take up space. And the little Realm of Magic couch, which I normally don't use that furniture too much just because it's so fun. We'll use that word fun. But yeah, it's all good. I'm just so happy with this house. I cannot wait to play with it. If you guys download it, I really hope you enjoy it. I would love to see your screen captures or what, or if you end up changing it or making it into anything different or building off of it. I would love to see it. And of course I had to put some plants down here, and I'm going to do that more often. It was really quick, but I went ahead and I added that base game, I think it's base game, the base game palm to the Journey to the 2 like potted plant, and it looks so good. All right, so here we are in this upstairs attic space. This took a lot of fidgeting around. Probably only one sim at a time could manage to maneuver up here, but she can sit down at the desk, and I do add like a journal, so your sim can come up there and journal as well as paint. All right, so here I am about to make the little ladder. I just take these 2 pokers and I rotate them. I can't remember exactly which degree it was, but then I just raise these little wooden planks up. I believe I just alt-9 them maybe 4 or 5 times. And yeah, I think it looks cool. I think it looks like she can access both the cellar area and the upstairs area, which is kind of what I had in mind. And then here I am just trying to make this area look better. I thought of making the fireplace look kind of shrine-ish. What I do end up doing though, I end up going ahead and adding I think it's an archway that we got with the Romantic Gardens pack or whatever that was. I have no idea if this works. I'm really bummed out. So if this doesn't work, I'm sorry guys. I did my best. It should. I don't think that the wooden planks I use should mess anything up. I did, however, use a chimney piece to kind of blend in the cabinet, and so I'm not sure if that piece will work. Like I said, I couldn't get my sim to find any recycled bits, nor could I find any in the debug menu, get her to have everything she needed to use it, so I'm not sure about that one. And I use this, I think it's from Get Famous, Debug Sword, just cause. But yes, guys, we are almost done. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as I enjoyed putting it together. And if you want to go ahead and download it, go ahead and check out the link below. But I'm going to have the cinematic tour for you coming up. Again, it means so much if you took the time to sit here and listen to me ramble for, oh my goodness, almost 40 minutes. So thank you guys so much for spending that time with me. And I hope you're having a great day. If you're new to the channel and if you'd like to see more, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. You can always unsubscribe in the future, but I hope we see some more of each other. Let me know if you have any comments or questions down below. I love interacting with you guys, and I just hope wherever this video finds you, you guys are doing well. Alright guys, watch me do some little last minute decorating, and we'll talk soon. Bye!